in offence and in defense, in sun-scorched deserts and in thickly wooded forests. Tanks lead the fight almost everywhere, but in most cases, they're almost defenceless when attacked from the air. What shields them from the wrath of the skies is a special type of ground vehicles, self-propelled anti-aircraft vehicles armed with quick-firing autocannons and missiles. This video is about them, or more specifically, about SPAA vehicles found in the German tech tree from the earliest models to the modern missile systems. We're going to kick it off with the Flakpanzer I, adopted into service in 1941. What it is, basically, is a 20mm Flak 38 autocannon mounted on top of the PZ KPFW-1 chassis. Thanks to its Panzergranat 40 rounds, it can fight both aircraft and ground targets. At the same time, it has barely any armor to speak of, but that's not much of a surprise, is it? Then we have the Flakpanzer 38. It's armed with the same gun, but this time fitted on the chassis of a Czechoslovakian LT-38, giving the SPAA vehicle a lot more mobility and making it a good pick for aggressive flanking maneuvers. Just keep in mind that your armament is placed at the rear of the vehicle. With the SD KFZ 6-2, you get to play with a gun of a bigger caliber, a 37mm Flak 36 cannon. It takes only a couple of hits with its F1T ammunition to destroy most aircraft you can encounter, while its APHE rounds are pretty effective at taking out armored targets, even though they have lower penetration rates than the PZGR-40 of the previous vehicles. Next up are two SPAA vehicles based on the Panzer IV medium tank, the Wirbelwind, meaning whirlwind in English, and the Ostwind, or east wind. Do you remember the autocannon used on the Flak 38? Well, the Wirbelwind has 4 of those. A whirlwind indeed. With that much firepower, this SPAA vehicle simply blows enemy aircraft out of the sky, and can be quite a menace to light tanks as well. It's worth noting that it also has excellent turret traverse, making it easier to stay on target. The Ostwind is a bit more modest, coming with just one gun, the 37mm Flak 43 cannon. This armament, though, strikes a perfect balance between fire rate and firepower, allowing the vehicle to deal with literally any kind of aerial target, and at a bigger distance than the Wirbelwind, no less. At the same time, it has a somewhat slow turret traverse, making it more difficult to engage targets that are highly mobile. Let's move on to the Ostwind II, basically the same vehicle, but with two 37mm autocannons. This SPAA vehicle can easily down piston-engine planes, including bombers and strike aircraft. But agile targets can be pretty hard to deal with due to relatively slow turret traverse. It's also a good idea to steer clear of enemy armor. The Ostwind II is pretty efficient at taking out other SPAAGs and light tanks, but that's it. If you run into something tankier, just disable their guns and disengage ASAP. Now, it's time to introduce the most advanced experimental SPAA vehicle of the Wehrmacht, the Kugelblitz, or ball lightning in English. It has a fully enclosed turret with nice traverse and quick-firing 30mm autocannons with some very punchy rounds, embodying a huge leap in AA technology. When it comes to fighting subsonic aircraft and lightly armored ground vehicles, the Kugelblitz is extremely versatile. It's a force to be reckoned with. Most German AA vehicles saw only limited production, with just hundreds or even dozens of vehicles made, and after World War II, German engineers were in no position to design new ones, right until the middle of the Cold War. It was 1976 when the new armed forces of Germany, the Bundeswehr, finally got their first production Flakpanzer I Gepard, a modern, highly sophisticated SPAA vehicle. It comes packed with advanced electronics. Its search and tracking radar allow it to engage aircraft at any time of the day or night and under any weather conditions. Furthermore, the vehicle is armed with twin-stabilized 35mm Oerlikon autocannons with very high fire rate and an amazing DM-23 belt, which is a godsend when fighting MBTs. The last SPAA vehicle in the tree is the mighty Flakpanzer Roland, designed to a joint French and German requirement for a new missile system. It's a dedicated AA vehicle fitted with great electronics and powerful Roland SAMs, designed in such a way that they don't lose any of their speed or maneuverability right until they reach max range. SPAA vehicles are a shield protecting tanks and other armored vehicles against airborne threats. A quick burst or two is all it takes to reduce a fearsome helicopter with all its anti-tank missiles into just a pile of burning metal. Moreover, many SPAAGs can stand their ground when fighting against other ground vehicles, so never underestimate or dismiss enemy anti-air. After they're done with their air targets, they will come for you as well. What are your favorite German SPAA vehicles? Please do tell us in the comments below. We're waiting.